Who knew that there was controversy that Steve Harvey stole the hanger? Oh, I remember that. Okay, it's not with Omar. Since Omar Gooden was speaking on it, I thought the claim was all of a sudden that it was stolen from him. But I remember the claim that Steve Harvey stole the Hanging with Mr. Cooper concept and made the Steve Harvey show, where he was the principal and all that. Omar Gooden is going to speak on whether he can confirm or deny that. Let's check it out. They on the Art of Dialogue. Shout out to the platform.
How you feel about Cat Williams when he did that interview with Shannon Sharp? You know, he made a comment about how the Steve Harvey show, they took their concept from Hanging with Mr. Cooper. You believe that?
Yeah, you know what? I heard that. Those are the type of statements you look at it afterwards and go, damn, if you think about it, yeah. I don't know what goes on in these rooms when they pattern shows after this, or they go, well, that was successful, let's do that. Hanging with Mr. Cooper, there was another show.
Well, it's a phrase I've heard all my life, even as a child in Hollywood, say, oh, I got an idea. It's with such and such meets such and such. That is a Hollywood concept, combining ideas that work with other ideas that work and do your own version. The concept, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, applies to the film industry. There is a basic blueprint for every film, at least you ever watch. I'm sure it applies to television in a similar fashion, but you need a subject, you need a conflict, you need a challenge, you need a climax, and you need a resolution. And each film you've ever watched, they fill in those blanks and you don't even realize it.
You know what's kind of funny though, now that you said that, I've had people say, oh, you were on Steve Harvey, weren't you? You know what? That is fucking hilarious. I'm serious. This just came to me. But yes, a lot of people, when they say, man, you were on Steve Harvey show, and I go, no, I was on Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
That's a dope camera effect angle. First, it's a dope camera shot, crispy, clean. But the way that motherfucker is doing that panning effect is dope.
Oh, that's right. The other... You know what I mean? So people confuse it all the time. So there's something there.
Is Jamie Foxx show pattern after Martin show? I think it was inspirational. One was inspiration for the other.
As far as did he steal the idea? I don't know. People aren't very original, bro. And as you see by all the remakes, it's like, damn, I got a lot of fucking ideas. We come up with some brand new shit every fucking day. Give us a shot. So now what's dope is all these new streaming platforms and stuff. Now we can just, we're cutting it. We're doing it ourselves, which is great. I did a series called Funny AF that's on Tubi. And then all of a sudden there's a Funny AF on Netflix. We'll talk about it later. No. But it's not like, I think honestly too, and it's funny, this is a lesson my brother told me a long time ago. I was like, yo man, I got this idea and it's about two guys. He's like, stop. I'm like, what? He's like, don't tell me. I'm like, why? He's like, because I don't want to accidentally steal your idea. I'm like,
if I learned that in music, once you heard it, you can't forget you heard it. Oh, blah, 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 blah.
How do you accidentally steal an idea, bro? He's like, because I could be at the bar talking about something. We have a conversation. We stop talking about it. Years pass. All of a sudden, I'm trying to come up with an idea, and your thought comes in mind, and I think it's mine. I don't remember this conversation we had, but that idea is planted in the seat. So you never share your ideas with people. Just say, I got an idea for a show. Oh, yeah, what's it about? It's about a couple guys and, whatever, but I'm not going to get
non-disclosure. That's when the NDAs come in.
Get into full detail with it. You know what I mean? Even ideas. I caution people to not get too excited. I got the greatest idea. Let me tell you about it. It's about, stop. Write it down, get a copy written, and then let's talk about it. Or don't. Or let's work on having a relationship where we're developing this together. Now, if we're co-writers, you want to work. Now, tell me your idea. We'll work about it. We'll get it copywritten, patented, registered, and all that shit. And now we can go to work on it. But yeah, he told me that shit a long time ago, and it's a very valid point. So, it could just have been, he just like, this is what I wanted to do. Like, you're Steve Harvey. You're a very funny comedian. Kings of Comedy was great. It's time for your show or whatever. I don't know what the timeline was. I'm pretty sure that came before that. And it was like, what do you want to do? I was like, oh, how about this? How about that? They probably went through the, storyboard, blah, blah. So if Cat Williams has a beef with him, and it's easy to say, he stole his whole shit. He steals everybody's shit. Maybe he stole some shit, but who knows? I think it's a stretch because I just don't know. So, like I said, I can only give my opinion. But like I said a little earlier, yeah, it is kind of interesting. And a lot of people said they mistake the show. They mistake the two. They were like, yeah, you were on Steve Harvey show. I said, never, not a day. but I was on Hang with Mr. Cooper.
Let me ask you, right? Because I know when I interviewed Jason Weaver, I asked him the same thing, and I want to ask you, to go back, right? Back in the 90s, I know that had to be crazy, back in the 90s being in LA. How did you avoid drama back then?
Well, this is the thing. It's an important point that you say in the 90s. I mean, there was a lot of things that we were able to avoid, like social media. There were altercations that we've been in, some that I've talked about, some that I won't, some that I hinted at. I didn't hang around with a lot of celebrities. I hung around with celebrities that were like-minded individuals, cut from the same cloth, street smart, could fight. And most of them were probably either in a gang or affiliated. And it gives you a level of safeness. If we're all working towards the same goal, we understand that we have something to lose and to protect. I'm an alpha, but at the same time, I had a crew around me and Jason and Merlin and this and the blah, blah. Merlin said, "Dad, I'm gonna take the gun. I'm gonna be that guy." But we all knew when we went out, this is our bread and butter with respect to the guys around us. And we took care of them. We did. It only made sense to me. If I'm making all this fucking money, why are these niggas pulling their wallets out when it's time to pay the tab and then drinks and shit like that? No. Why? Save your fucking money. You know what I mean? There may be a time you need that later. Don't be like, oh, damn, I'm trying to keep up with y'all and went broke. Don't do that shit.
Type one of my homies from the set, they play a lot of dominoes. Go check out the Universal Domino League. It's a professional situation. I participated a few times. I done hung with Cuz cool.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna give you no money, but I'll pay for the tab. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll put you on the payroll and you can earn the shit type shit. But those are the people that were around us. Now you got these kids running around and they see their bread and butter doing some goofy shit. They want to get a camera video of it. Like, look at this tripping, and then sell it to TMZ to get that quick bag. And now you done off the real bag. So that just baffles me, man. But it was easier. It made sense to me then to surround myself with people that had our best interests at heart. And that's what we did. So our circle was small. We all had our own friends and different girls, but when it came to being out in public, we rolled together. You move kind of like the mafia. You stick with your own, and then you move, and you don't just go off on your own little tangents and this and that.
I don't know what you call the piece of equipment that I believe they're using, but I have an idea what I think they're using to get that shot.
Blah, blah, blah. Shit happens if you got to go slide off and see a shorty, whatever, get a female, whatever, that type of shit. But for the most part, we traveled together. We was always together. Y'all ready? What time we meet? Meet up at the crib. We all rolling out. And that was the best way to keep each other safe. And it worked, man. Even when it got dicey, and it got dicey, it got a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? I was arrested. I was all over the news for 24 hours, and I had to save Mark Curry had to save my career, with the Hang with Mr. Cooper shit, because I got caught with guns and pistols and all this shit. I wasn't shooting and going crazy, but I had them on me. Got caught. And I had to come and show up hat in hand and apologize. And Mark Curry was such a mentor. He called me over to the house before we started filming, and he sat me down and said, "Bro, they're about to fire your ass. You about to be donezo. This is what."
Damn, we want to go see the rest of this. Going over to the Art of Dialogue. He was here to hear his opinion on whether or not Steve Harvey copied the Mr. Cooper show. And I heard what Cat Williams said. He a fool, tend to believe him, but what he just puts it in another perspective. But he was a part of the show. And from his personal experience, people have walked up to him and gotten one confused with the other. I know that I was on Cold Case, an episode, and for years, people walk up to me and say, "I see you on Law and Order. See you on Law and Order." And I'd be like, "No, that was Cold Case." So I kind of can relate to what they're going through.
Get you some money, you're going to feel different.
Straight up.
You might even, all that other advice I could have gave you, this is the short version. Get you a couple dollars, man. You're going to feel different.
Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.